Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is ForeverElite and welcome back. Oh gosh, it's Store Saturday, guys.
Hey guys, ForeverElite here, or as some like to call me, the guy that goes around in lobbies and telling people that he used to be a staff member, so all the points he makes are automatically valid. Alright everyone, good morning, welcome back to another Story Saturday for real, guys. My name is ForeverElite, and today's Story Saturday is actually about the tale of when I lost my iPod on a 14er mountain. Now, I was about 10 at the time, and it was actually in the summertime, so obviously I have a lot of free time. Now, a 14er mountain, I guess I should probably just refer to it as it's called a 14er mountain. That is the nickname given to a mountain that rises taller than 14,000 feet here in Colorado. So the mountain that we are actually talking about today was called Pikes Peak. Now, this is a super popular mountain in America. It's actually nicknamed America's Mountain, so it gets a ton of visitors. I think it's like the second most visited mountain in the nation or something. I don't even know, honestly. But anyway, it is actually 14,115 feet above sea level, so it is a pretty tall mountain. Now, my dad is a professional photographer. He's also a graphic designer. He's the one that actually designed all my YouTube graphics, so my banner and my profile picture before I got the new ones that were hand-drawn. He's actually the one that designed those. So anyway, today he had a photography job to take pictures. Now, he secretly was going to take pictures of a couple that was hiking up the mountain. The guy knew about it. He planned it, but the girl did not. So basically what would happen was when they reached the top of the summit, the guy would actually propose to the girl. Now, this plan was all fine for a while. My dad and I drove up to the top, looked for a place to set up, because for Pikes Peak, there's actually something called the Pikes Peak Highway, which lets you drive up if you don't want to hike up. And there's also a train that takes you up if you don't want to hike up. So since we had so much camera gear, obviously we're not going to hike up, so we actually drove up the mountain. So we climbed about, I want to say, 8,000 feet or so to get to the top of this mountain. So we finally reached the top of the mountain and we started to set up gear. Now, we actually had to be in like a prone position, meaning we were lying on our chests basically, because when you're that high up, trees can't actually grow. So trees do not grow because there's such a lack of oxygen that high up that there was nothing to hide behind. So we were basically just lying prone on a huge field of boulders, and we're just like, this is pretty uncomfortable, but you know what? This is what we're doing because this guy wants to get a surprise. He wants to surprise his girlfriend because he's gonna just basically propose to her on the top of a mountain, and he wanted us to take pictures of the entire experience, so I thought it was pretty cool. So from afar, we spot two little specks walking up the mountain. Now, we get our binoculars, and sure enough, it happens to be them. Now, we're so far up that they wouldn't be able to see us, however, we would be able to see them, so it was kind of like a extremely covert operation. Now, my dad decided to actually switch spots because he didn't want to be seen, which would basically spoil the entire operation. So we get up, and we switch spots very carefully. So as we get up and start to move to a new spot, my iPod Classic is meeting its demise. Now, I'm actually wearing a hoodie, and my iPod Classic is clipped onto that. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that the magnets that were holding the case closed came undone. So my iPod slipped out of my pocket without me knowing and into one of the millions of crevices. Now, guys, I'm just going to put this in perspective. This boulder field is massive. There are thousands and thousands of boulders, and it's probably in a span of 4 or 5 football fields big, so it's a massive place. Here's a picture of just what it looks like up there. So my iPod falls out, and it slips into one of those crevices. However, I didn't actually know it fell out, so I had no idea that my super nice iPod just fell out and was now in the boulder field. So my dad and I get to a new spot, and all of a sudden I realize that my iPod fell out, and I just start to panic like crazy. And my dad's like, okay, you have 5 minutes, run back and try to find it. Now, the reason why I had to get it in such a quick time was because I was actually since my dad was the photographer, I actually had to be the one to hold the lights and just make sure that all the pictures were well lit and stuff. So I sprint back, and I'm starting to panic and cry. I'm searching everywhere for it, and I look down randomly in a crack, and there lies my iPod, just lying on a patch of snow, guys. The chances of this happening is just like probably 1 in like 100,000, because there were tens of thousands of boulders everywhere, and I just happened to look down, and right there is my iPod Classic laying on a patch of snow. Like, the boulders didn't hurt it at all. It landed on a tiny patch of snow, and the snow was only big enough to keep my iPod safe. Like, it legit landed in the very perfect spot. And I was just like thanking God so much at this point. And so I sprint back and report to my dad. Now, when I got back, I unfortunately missed the opportunity So they had already climbed up and he had already proposed to her, but I was not there because I was looking for my iPod. And so my dad did not get very good lighting. So we actually had to recreate the entire thing. And it was just really, it was kind of a mess. So they had to recreate it, which definitely was not very ideal. And the dude was actually pretty salty at me for the rest of the day and pretty much treated me like trash. But you know what, guys? The thing is, I got my iPod back, guys. It held 160 gigabytes after all, and it had all my feature-length movies, like the entire Batman series and all the Star Wars and all the extended versions of Lord of the Rings. I had like 215 full-length movies on there, and I was not about to give that up just for one photography gig. I'm just going to say that. And the dude probably had every right to get salty at me, but I mean, I still have my iPod today, and although I don't really use it, I still have it. So guys, for your weekly lesson, when you're with your dad on a 14,000 foot tall mountain taking pictures of an engagement secretly while lying prone on your chest, make sure you keep your iPod in your pocket and not strapped to your hoodie. Because after all, iPods are pretty expensive. And just another thing, guys, iPod Classics are so amazing. I know they're old and I know they have the little scroll wheel, but they have 160 gigs from music and their battery life can last literally for weeks. So I'm just saying, guys, iPod Classics, that's where it's at. Hit me up if you have an offer. I'm just kidding. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like. Smack that like button, guys. And I will see you in a brand new video. Bye, guys.